What's up, guys? You are just in time for today's waiver wire video for week 3. Let's jump right into it. No wasting time. You know how we do. My 3 quarterbacks that you can stream this week with confidence is Will Levis at Miami. Now, I know what you're thinking. Will Levis, the turnover machine. Yes, you can stream him with confidence. At the end of the day, this is a streaming option. Am I saying play him over Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen? No, of course not. If you have Lamar Jackson, then no, you don't need to pick up Will Levis. But if you have Jordan Love, who might not come back this week, or Caleb Williams you're not happy with, you can feel confident playing Will Levis against this Miami defense that Geno Smith just ripped apart. He has a rushing floor, so that's going to help him out at the very least. I do think this Miami team, just like last week, is in shambles and is probably not going to show up again on this Sunday, so you can stream Will Levis with confidence. A second stream of the week, let's talk Deshaun Watson. For all the jokes you can make about Deshaun Watson, he's been relatively decent for fantasy football this year. He's finally on page with Amari Cooper. He had a 2-touchdown game last week, and guess who's playing this week? My Raiders. Unfortunately, this defense can be had, and again, we just got embarrassed by the last place Carolina Panthers and the Red Rifle. So what do you think Deshaun Watson can do with better weapons? Deshaun Watson, you can play with confidence. Speaking of the Red Rifle, I'm going to stream him this week against Cincy. If he does continue to play, Dave Canales already said he is the quarterback moving forward for now. So he's going to play against Cincy at the very least this week. You could pick him up and play him. His weapons are pretty good. I mean, you got Deontay Johnson. Chuba Hubbard is looking rejuvenated in this new offense with the Red Rifle. Andy Dalton is a good streaming quarterback. He's going to make minimal mistakes, and again, he should be able to get you at least 250 and 2. And for a streaming option, that's just good enough. There's not a lot of running backs on the waiver wire that you can plug in and play this week, so we're going to focus on handcuffs. Emmanuel Wilson is looking like to be Josh Jacobs' full-time backup. Everyone else is pretty much injured. He's pretty much the backup by default, but that doesn't really matter in fantasy football when it's a one-year sprint. We've seen the workhorse role that they're giving Josh Jacobs, and if Emmanuel Wilson comes in, he's going to be just the same. If he has to get plugged into your lineup because of an injury to Josh Jacobs, you can feel confident. The handcuff that a lot of people are not really talking about is Ronnie Rivers. Everyone talked about Blake Corum being his backup and being his handcuff, but he hasn't really shown anything at all. Last game, he didn't even play. So Kyren Williams is obviously the stud running back and is going to get the majority of touches of the backfield. There's nowhere near a split. That being said, if he does go down, Ronnie Rivers is the back to pick up and the back to plug and play. It's not looking like it's Blake Corum's year. Pick him up and stash him just in case Kyren goes down. Cooper Kupp might not come back, but Puka should be back soon. Cooper Kupp, again, we don't know. He might not come back. He might come back soon. Who knows at this point? This Rams offense is still somebody you want a piece of as long as Matthew Stafford stays healthy. So again, pick up Ronnie Rivers. And last but not least, this is really a deep stash. I'm going to go Roschon Johnson. You know, DeAndre Swift and this Chicago Bears offense in general looks pretty much terrible, but DeAndre Swift seems to be losing his job and will lose his job soon to Roschon Johnson. If Caleb Williams gets to the point where he's, somewhat confident in the NFL, this offense can be firing on all cylinders. They have 3 stud wide receivers, so if Roschon Johnson becomes that running back, which is why we love DeAndre Swift, a starting running back and a good offense, I think Roschon Johnson can be the guy. Pick him up and stash him. At the wide receiver position, unfortunately, you're going to have to pick up Allen Lazard. You're just going to have to do it. He has a connection with Aaron Rodgers. Garrett Wilson does not seem to be the alpha that we thought he was. He does have a command over the targets in the offense, but he's not getting, anywhere near 30% of the target share. Allen Lazard still has a connection, especially in that red zone with Aaron Rodgers. He's going to get him the ball, and he's taking advantage of the double teams from Garrett Wilson, and that's going to continue all year round. So, again, pick up Allen Lazard. If any one of the Green Bay wide receivers is still on the waiver wire, again, Jordan Love is coming back, so this offense should be firing on all cylinders, and maybe one of the guys ends up being the alpha. Not really sure who at this point. It could be Romeo Doubs, Ontavian Wicks. Anyone on the waiver wire pertaining to the Green Bay wide receivers, pick them up and stash them. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith is probably going to miss this week. A.J. Brown still dealing with a hamstring. Devontae Smith dealing with a concussion issue. Their bye is not this week, but the next week. So even if they're really good to go, the Eagles are most likely going to let them rest until the bye week. So who's up next? Jahan Dotson. This is what they traded him for. He's going to operate as a wide receiver 1 in this offense. So again, pick up Jahan Dotson if you are an A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith owner. Last but not least, let's talk about the tight end position where pretty much anyone with a pulse is playable. Let's talk about Cole Kmet. The Chicago offense is not very good, but the tight end position is the one spot that's shining. He is a top 3 tight end right now, which is crazy to say. I understand it's a small sample size, but it is what it is. Top 3 tight end, pick up Cole Kmet. Second on my list, I want to talk about Johnny Munt. So we all understand at this point that coaching does matter. Sam Darnold is showing what he was supposed to be with that first round pick from the New York Jets. He has weapons around him. He has great receivers. He has a good tight end. He has a good running back. He has great coaching, which is the most important. And he's developing into I don't want to say yet, but he's developing into possibly a franchise quarterback with the Minnesota Vikings. He has Justin Jefferson. He has Jalen Naylor, who looks really good. Johnny Muntz again is building that connection and leading the pack at the tighter position on this offense. Once Jordan Addison comes back, they're going to be firing on all cylinders, but at the very least, right now, Johnny Muntz seems to be the number 2, so you can pick him up and play him with confidence. And last but not least, I want to look at Brock Wright. Sam Laporta went down last week. He ended up going back into the game. He does have a low ankle sprain, which is not the dreaded high ankle sprain, but again, they might want to rest him up and miss this week. Their main goal is to make sure come playoff time, they're fully healthy. Pick him up. If Sam Laporta ends up playing, then you can drop him. You're not really missing anything. Thanks for following along. We'll see you next week.